I'm Alexander Williams. These are my audience for my speech. Introduce yourselves.
My name is Al.
My name's Dan.
Chris.
Nice to see you guys. What I wanted to talk about today is what makes a computer work. There's a few key components to any computer, but the basic parts for a computer are RAM, hard drives, a motherboard, a processor, and a power supply. There's other parts, but we're going to talk about the most important, which are the CPU, Central Processing Unit, the motherboard, and the power supply. I learned a lot about computers working at ESQ. It's a computer installation company for Orange County, contract company. We installed computers, repaired them, did software, hardware, that kind of stuff. And then I went to Kaiser University to further my knowledge in this field, learn more about networking, that kind of thing. So let's move on. The Central Processing Unit. It's the core of the computer. Works a lot like the human brain. Tells the rest of the parts of the computer what to do and where the information needs to go. All information in computers is directed in binary, a language of ones and zeros. This is how the CPU tells all the other parts of the computer what's going on. Processors are actually very similar to those in cell phones and cars. The only difference is the obvious size. All processors are located under a heatsink on the motherboard. The heatsink works a lot like a radiator in a car to the engine. It cools it and keeps it from overheating. This is the processor. Kind of dirty, but it is located right here under this heatsink. Get this off. And moving on, this is the motherboard. This is kind of like the body of the computer. This is where all the important parts are housed, all the connectors attached to. You have the RAM slots, the PCI Express for the video, and that type of thing. Without this, the computer wouldn't function. This is what makes everything possible. If you want to upgrade your computer, you have to have the capabilities and the connectors for that on your motherboard. If you want to add more RAM, your motherboard has to be able to support that. Same thing with video cards and sound cards, and all that type of stuff. This is located inside the computer on the case, about a ½ inch off the case, screwed in. That way it's grounded. The motherboard gets its power from the power supply, which is this. These are all connectors that attach to parts of the motherboard and to hard drives to give them power. Also DVD, CD drives, anything like that. The power supply works a lot like the heart. It gives energy to everything in the computer and makes sure that it all runs. It has a safeguard, actually. It says right here that if the power exceeds what's on this power supply, it shuts off to save anything in the computer from frying. And it also has a switch. This one actually doesn't, but most nowadays do, most new models. So you can turn them on and off to keep them completely off if you wanted to, turn off when you left or something like that, to make sure that should there be a storm or something, a power surge, nothing would happen to it. And the switch is in 1 and 0, which is on-off in binary. In conclusion, I just wanted to share this knowledge with you guys. It's kind of a basic understanding of what computers do, what their function is, like what's inside them. You have the processor, the brain, the motherboard, the body, and the power supply, the heart. In our generation, technology is ever expanding, and I feel it's important that you know a little bit about the tools that we use. Thank you.